Getting my toddler to listen has always been a little bit of a challenge.
That's the understatement of the year.
2 months ago, I had a new baby and it's become even more of a challenge. So today I'm sharing 8 tips on how to talk to your toddler so that they might listen. In case we haven't met yet, my name is Kalina. I am a full-time mom to a newborn baby and also a 3-year-old toddler. And in my channel, we're talking all things parenthood, motherhood mindset, slow living, organic, non-toxic products, and homeschooling. So if that interests you, go ahead and click like and subscribe for new videos every week. Tip number 1 is to get the timing right. Unless something is really critical or urgent, I let my toddler finish what he's doing and move on to another task before I interrupt him and ask him to do something. It's important for me to give him the opportunity to build focus, and he's not able to do that if I'm constantly interrupting him and pulling him away from something that he's trying to accomplish.
I'm busy.
Tip number 2 is a big one. It's tell them what to do. So often, I think myself included, we find ourselves trying to tell our toddler what not to do.
Oh, don't touch that, don't touch that, don't touch that.
But actually, it's much more helpful to tell them what to do instead. For example, we're in a public bathroom at the park. Instead of, "No, Quentin, don't touch that disgusting, nasty drain," I say, "Quentin, put your hands on your head." This makes so much sense to me because no one wants to feel like they're doing something wrong constantly, especially a toddler who has no control over their own emotions. So setting him up for success and telling him clear instructions on what I want him to do instead of just nagging him about things that he's not doing right gets a much better result. Number 3 is get on their level. I get it. We're busy. We have other kids in the house. We have to yell across the house for something sometimes. We're multitasking. We're cooking. The dog's whining. Things are getting in the way. It's hard to just stop sometimes and get over to our toddler and physically crouch down, meet their eye, and tell them what we expect of them.
Look at me!
But I am telling you, if we take the time to do that, it's so much more likely that they're going to listen than if I call across the room to get him to do something. I get on his level, make eye contact. Sometimes I'll just touch his arm and make sure that he's looking at me, and then I'll give him a clear instruction. "Quentin, it's time to put our shoes on now." Number 4 is to wait before repeating yourself. This is one that I'm personally struggling with right now because I feel like it does take me a couple times sometimes to get my point across. But I think part of the reason that's the case is that I'm not actually allowing enough time for my toddler's brain to process what I'm saying before I repeat the instruction to him. I read that it can actually take 10 seconds for a young child to process what you're saying.
Seriously?
Stone cold seriously.
So I'm trying to be better about waiting and seeing if he's actually going to follow the instruction. So now instead of repeating myself, I give it a little bit of time. And then if it feels like he's still stuck, then I move on to tip number 5. Number 5 is offer support or choices. Going with the shoe example, saying something like, "Hey, I see your shoes aren't on your feet. Do you want some help with that?" Or I won't say anything and I'll just take his shoes and socks and put them right in front of him and wait to see what he does. Maybe I'll put his shoes in front of him and then I'll go grab my shoes and start putting them on right in front of him, and usually he'll follow suit. Offering a choice is also really helpful. So I'll say, "Quentin, do you want to wear the black shoes or the blue shoes?" Number 6 is offer fun or exaggerated alternatives. My toddler is struggling with hitting and just some physical dysregulation right now, which is totally developmentally natural for his age. Did you know that boys ages 3 to 6 have almost as much testosterone in their bodies as a pubescent boy?
What the what?
That energy has to go somewhere. If I see those arms coming at me, I might say something like, "Quentin, I won't let you hit mommy, but you can hit that pillow 20 times, or you can jump on one foot. Which one should we try first?" Sometimes he has a lot of feelings, and the only way those feelings come out is screaming, which is extra great when I'm constantly wearing my newborn baby who's always sleeping. I'll say something like, "Hey Quentin, it hurts my ears when you scream. Why don't you go to your room, let all the screams out, and then when you're ready to play quietly, come back out and I'll play with you." The other day when I wasn't wearing my newborn baby, I actually went in his room and let out some screams too because I was really frustrated at something annoying that he was doing. And it felt great, and it also showed my son, hey, mommy can let out frustration in this productive way too. What's really funny is that I've actually caught him several times going into his room by himself, screaming, and then coming back out to meet me. So he's starting to learn that that's something that he can just do on his own, and I don't even have to direct him for that alternative. Number 7 is offering choices specifically for times during transition, which toddlers really struggle with. We're at the park, he's climbing on something. I'll say, hey, Quentin, you can climb this 2 more times, and then it's time to walk to the car. And then I'll offer him a choice. Do you want to walk by yourself or hold my hand? Sometimes he'll hold my hand, and sometimes he'll walk, and sometimes he just protests and sits on the floor. If he sits on the floor, I'll say something like this. Quentin, it looks like you're having trouble leaving. I'm gonna throw you over my shoulder and walk you to the car. And then I calmly pick him up, toss him over my shoulder, and walk to the car. My last tip, number 8, is a really important one. It's to practice off book. What I mean by that is trying to catch my toddler at times when things are calm, he's able to pay attention, and we're practicing things that are not in the heat of the moment. We actually call it scenarios. So my son knows that if he wants to talk through something with me, maybe something happened earlier in the day with him and another kid at the park, or we had an interaction that could have gone better, we'll talk about it in terms of a scenario. We'll say, hey, let's talk about this scenario. This is what happened. Here's what could have happened. Let's have you be this character and I'm going to be this character, and we'll act it out together. And then we'll kind of act out the whole scene, practicing what the other one should say in different circumstances. I find that role play is really helpful for us. And even though it works between just the two of us, sometimes I'll involve dad or his sister or even a stuffed animal to just help get that skill set practiced. Those are my 8 tips on how to get your toddler to potentially listen a little bit easier. Hope they were helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.